Premier League at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea taking on Liverpool. Liverpool, the defending champions, and they showed why there is a gulf of class between them and the rest. They won the Premier League on the counter last season, and they've started off exactly where they stopped. They won their first 2 matches, and the second one in particular yesterday against Chelsea, they won 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. Italian Serie A is back, and Cristiano Ronaldo has continued his scoring spree. He scored again for Juventus last night. Our boy Victor Osimhen was in action for Napoli. They won. He didn't score, but he had a pretty decent game, and you will see from the way his manager Gennaro Gattuso congratulated him in the end. You will see that he was really impressed with what the young man brought to the team. The US Open is over, talking about golf, and the Chambo won. Also, the Tour de France, the most grueling cycling race in the world, is also over, and Pogacar just surprised everybody by emerging victorious. We'll also be looking at what's happening in the NBA, the playoffs, the Eastern and Western Conference final. They're both on, and then we have the Italian Open in tennis. We are in the final for both the men and the women. All right, Egosa, great to have you. Let's begin with football, and we'll start at Stamford Bridge. It was Chelsea versus Liverpool yesterday, and we know what happened. Liverpool winning that encounter 2-0. Chelsea, well, they brought so many players because they knew that there was so much difference between them and Liverpool, and the desire was to close the gap between them, Liverpool, and Manchester City. But from what we saw yesterday, the way Liverpool totally outplayed Chelsea, red card for Andres Christensen, but red cards comes from pressure most times. Is Chelsea any closer to Liverpool right now from what we've seen so far?
Well, I think I would say Chelsea we can only give them some time to be closer to Liverpool, because Liverpool, the way they've blended so far, the way they've been playing, and the way they've been winning titles, one would expect them to continue in that same fashion. But Chelsea, they brought players fine, but the players, have they been able to blend with the team? No, because the time is just too short. And if this game had to be played in the maybe in 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks time, I could say, okay, yes, maybe the likes of Timo Werner, Kim Ziyech and all will be ready for this game. But then even with Kai Havertz and the other guys in the squad yesterday, Liverpool, they want to make a bold statement. They want to retain the English Premier League, and that is what Jurgen Klopp has said after winning the title after 30 years. But then he also questioned Chelsea's spending spree and all that. But yesterday it was proving that Liverpool, with their high pressing game, which we felt, okay, at some point it's going to really affect them, just like what they did last season. But this season, 2 out of 2, it doesn't really seem as if they're not going to continue to win games. If they continue this way and their opponents are not doing anything about it, come on, I think they're going to continue to win games like this. And no margin for errors. Yesterday, the errors once again came, and I don't know how Kepa is going to deal with all this, because even if that game had stood yesterday at 1-0, then Jorginho maybe was able to convert his penalty, it would have been a different ball game. But missing a penalty and causing that kind of error from a highly placed goalkeeper, like Kepa and Zabalaga, who was brought in for some £21 million. I think it just truly affected.
He's not that highly rated goalkeeper. Yes, he at one point was the number 1 for Spain, but I don't think he has ever been amongst the best goalkeepers in the world. Chelsea were desperate at that point to get a goalkeeper. They even wanted to get Alisson Becker, but he chose Liverpool, and that's why they were, really desperate. They wanted a goalkeeper. Went to Bilbao, and Bilbao told them, look, it's either you pay 71 million or we are not releasing our goalkeeper. And they just felt time was running out, and that's why they paid that amount to get Kepa. But clearly he's showing that he's not up to it in the Premier League. You've got to feel sorry for him, no matter how much you want to criticize him. But I mean, he's not doing it because he wants to scuttle Chelsea's chances, but he just isn't good enough, or he's not mentally focused enough. When Tomori came, he did some great stuff in the defense, and that back pass, you can't blame Tomori for giving him the pass. I have always criticized players, always passing back. I don't like that in anything. I hate to see teams doing that, but some managers like it. Especially somebody like Pep Guardiola, he wants a team to be playing from behind. I want players to be very, very cautious once they are in the 18-yard box. Kick the ball out, or if you are going to make a pass, ensure that it is a perfect touch. But when you keep touching the ball several times within the 18-yard box, you are looking for trouble. And I was saying it, with the way Liverpool were high pressing and Chelsea were passing the ball across in the 18-yard box, I knew they were looking for trouble, and it happened. But when it came to Kepa, there were several other options that he could have chosen, but he chose the the one that was the worst. He attempted to pass to Jorginho, and Mane was looking at him, and you could even see this if you're watching closely. You will see Roberto Firmino telling Mane that he's going to give that pass. He was screaming at him, telling him he wants to make that pass to Jorginho, close him, and he did exactly that. Attempting the pass to Jorginho, Mane just took it, and
But what was he thinking? Can't you clear the ball? You want to be pitched for others to continue.
When a player is short of confidence, things like that happen. I mean, there is nothing that the player is trying to do his best. But even the most basic things, the most basic for an outfield player, the most basic thing should be to control the ball. Even when there is nobody with him, he struggles to control the ball. So Kepa right now has absolutely zero confidence, so he keeps making these errors. But Kepa, we knew even before the game that he could have that moment. But you've also got to look at the other players and then ask certain questions of the Chelsea manager, Frank Lampard. Why would you be that negative? The approach was tentative. I mean, you could see clearly that Chelsea just felt we are not good enough to beat Liverpool, so let us see what we can do in order not to be beaten. That was the approach that they came with. You look at the game between Liverpool and Leeds United, their first game. You saw how Leeds United came out. Leeds United scored 3 goals. They could have got away with the point, although they lost, but it was still a good display. But with Chelsea yesterday, there's no way they were winning that match. Yes, they had a penalty, and yes, Tammy Abraham, when he came on, had a chance. Alisson made a good save, but the whole performance, when you rate it, you just see clearly that Chelsea were not up for it. They were scared of Liverpool and allowed Liverpool to absolutely dominate the game.
Yeah, that is what you get once you are a champion. You need to maintain that status and remain champions, and that is what Liverpool came out to do yesterday. They knew that if they were able to get a point from Stamford Bridge to be okay for them, but as the champions, they wanted to press Chelsea, they wanted to commit them and all that. They were playing as if they were at Anfield, and that was not supposed to be. If Lampard really wants to get the maximum points from that match yesterday, yes, it was a big game. Playing against the champions, you need to give your best, you need to dig deep and all that. But yesterday, being the second match of the season, Liverpool, they are still very, very fresh and strong, and after that 4-3 win over Leeds United, they knew that, okay, what we need to do, we don't need to give more space to Chelsea, because if we had to do this the same way we did against Leeds, that made Leeds to score 3 goals, I think Chelsea could punish them. So they closed every spot on that pitch and ensure that yes, they run at the defenders in order for them to give them pressure, and so that people like Jacob Zuma, though he scored in their very first game, but they wanted to give them pressure that they could just
it's not Jacob Zuma.
Sorry, Zuma.
Zuma was the former president of South Africa. I don't know if he ever played football in his entire life.
Talking about Zuma, okay. It was a slip of tongue. But then I think the red card to Andreas Christensen also affected them. But if Lampard wants to win trophies and wants to keep playing at a high level, I think he has to change his tactics, his way of attacking bigger teams, just like Manchester City, Liverpool and all that. You could do this against smaller teams and still get away with it, but not against Liverpool. Sadio Mane is a tormentor anytime, any day, and yesterday proved that he's one of the finest strikers right now in the world by getting a brace. It's not really easy for him to score 2 twice against Chelsea, but yesterday it was easy for them than the match they played against Leeds United. Honestly, I think Chelsea, they have to go to the drawing board and look at where they got it wrong and see how they can put it right in their next game.
So that was what happened. Liverpool, absolutely brilliant. You've got to give them credit for what they did. the new guy, Kai Havertz, has this criticism. Yesterday didn't exactly also cover himself in glory, but we saw some flashes, and once again, Frank Lampard opted to play him on the right. Sometimes he switched to the left, and you've got to ask what is happening, because the guy said he prefers playing as a number 10. But we know that even in the German Bundesliga, he played different position and he excelled in all of those positions, so he should be able to adapt. However, it has not clicked for him just yet. But you've also got to understand that when you are this Chelsea team, it was because it was very bad last season. That's why they brought on so many. I think they brought our 8 players, and of the 8 of them, about 7 are expected to come into the team, but because of fitness issues and some other problems, they have not been able to play all of them. It's just 2, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, who have been playing. So maybe by the time they play their next game in the Carabao Cup, some guys will come in, and by the time Chilwell, Ziyech, let's not forget President Pulisic also out injured there, so maybe by the next match he will be fit. Thiago Silva might come in, and that will now bring another debate: who stays, who partners him. From what Christensen did yesterday, I think he's basically taking himself out of the equation. Kurt Zouma is likely to partner him, but when Tomori came in, they've been thinking about sending him out on loan. Yeah, but from the way he performed, and I heard that Frank Lampard said because he doesn't know if Rudiger, who didn't play yesterday, he wasn't even on the bench, if Rudiger will be a disruptive influence, maybe he might feel he's not being played, and so he gets angry and starts causing problems. So that's why he wants to still leave Tomori. But from the way Tomori played yesterday, I think he is in with a shout of staying in that Chelsea team. So the debate now would be who partners Thiago Silva in the heart of the Chelsea defense. Then you now look at the left back, right back. For left back, I think it's clear once Ben Chilwell is fit, Alonso will not be playing, and then you look at the other players coming in. The team is going to get better, but for yesterday they were taught a bitter lesson by Liverpool. Alright, that wasn't the only game that was played yesterday. Leicester City, featuring our boy Wilfred Ndidi, still playing as a centre back. Did well, and they were able to get victory.
Yeah, that victory was really, really massive for them, and that took them to top spots at the moment, which was really good. Though Jim Vardy did not score, but you need to see how the other guys, came to the party, and they just thought Burnley, let's see, Burnley, they scored first, but before halftime, the first 6 came back, and at the end of the day, it was 4-2. So that was really good for Brendan Rodgers guys. They've won a title before. They know how it's looks like when you are top of the table. So if they can just hold them like this to the end of the season, to be second title for them, but then it's not going to be easy. But starting with 2 wins from 2 games, I think it's massive. Home and away. Against West Brom, they scored 3, and yesterday at home they scored 4. So for me, I think this season is looking really bright for Leicester City.
There was a terrific game at St. Mary's, Southampton versus Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Jose Mourinho says his son calls Heung-min Son Sonaldo because of the way he plays, that he's like a Brazilian at times. And yesterday he scored 4 goals. Well, it's not the first time that we're seeing a player score for the season, but it's very rare for a player. It's rare to score a hat-trick, and when you score a hat-trick plus 1, that is you've got 4 goals. It's fantastic. And at one point it was looking like, okay, Tottenham, here we go again, they will lose. But Harry Kane provided the 4 assists for Son to score 4 goals. So it was a terrific performance for Jose Mourinho and Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, it was like Son versus Southampton. Although it was a great one, because when you look at the way they started this season, it wasn't really good, because at home Lewis strike, that gave them, I think, that win. Beating them at home, I think, for a very long time. They broke that jinx, winning at quarter lane. But the second one, which was the match against Lokomotiv Plovdiv, they had to dig deep. They came back from a goal down to beat them the UEFA Champions League qualifiers, and now you have them playing against Southampton at home, having Danny Hayes as top 9, who also was on the score sheet yesterday. But Jose Mourinho knew what he wanted, and with the way they played yesterday, imagine putting Bale on the left, Son on the right, then having Harry Kane at the center. This season is going to be a fantastic one for Tottenham. They're going to have one of the deadliest front line, just like we have Sadio Mane, Firmino, and Mohamed Salah. So everyone has their own front line, to deal with this season. So yesterday, 4 from Son, that was really massive. I think that would really boost his confidence this season. He is one of those that will be fighting for the top scorer award, but then it's not like Harry Kane, who's always at the center doing what he knows how to do best. But yesterday, it was a fantastic display from all the guys. I can't wait to see how they will fare by the time it starts from the left-hand side.
Let's look at the results of other matches that we played.
Okay, started on Saturday where Everton taught West Bromwich Albion lesson, beating them 5-2. Then Leeds United enjoyed the 4-3 win over Fulham. Then Manchester United, they have played their very first game this season. They were beaten by Crystal Palace, with Wilfred Zaha scoring a brace in that game. Then
Zaha, their former player. Great. Taught them a lesson.
Yeah, then for Arsenal, they are all thanks to Eddie Nketiah for that late goal as they beat West Ham United 2 goals to 1. So yesterday's game, 5-2, Tottenham beat Southampton 5-2. Brighton and Hove Albion traveled to St James's Park and won 3 goals to 0. Then Leicester City, we told you what happened, they beat Football 4-2. Then today there will be just 2 games. Aston Villa will be at home to Sheffield United, while Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Manchester City.
Okay, top of the table right now, we've got Leicester City, they've got 6 points, goal difference +5. Second, Everton, 6 points, goal difference 4. Arsenal, third, 6 points, goal difference 4. Then Liverpool, fourth, 6 points, goal difference 3. After that, you've got Crystal Palace, they've also won 2 matches, goal difference 3. Then Tottenham Hotspur, third, goal difference 3 on 3, goal difference 2 on 3 points. Wolves on 3 points, Brighton on 3 points, Leeds on 3 points, Chelsea 10th on 3 points, goal difference 0 because they've scored 3 goals and they've also conceded 3. So that's what we have right now. Manchester City have not played, and of course you expect that when they play, they're likely to start getting points on the table. Okay, we'll go on this break and we'll be right back to continue the show. Please stay tuned.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food.
My dear, I am tired too.
I think it's about time we go solar.
Go solar?
With Vertical Solar, we can go solar for as low as 36,000 naira monthly by paying in installments of up to 12 months.
Really?
Vertical Solar range of products can power household devices such as televisions, fridges, air conditioners, microwave, water pumps, electric iron, washing machine, and lots more. With extensive pay in installments plans up to 12 months with 10 years warranty.
Wow! What are the benefits of solar energy?
We're talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, zero noise and smoke emission, and reduced generator maintenance cost.
Where is Vertical Solar located?
Number 28, Country Home Hotel Road off Ajib Junction, Sapler Road, Benin City. You can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. Give your family a tasty, nourishing breakfast of Kellogg's cereal, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Now also available for just 15 naira. Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Plenty there to win for the 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo. 90 people go come and 1 million naira every day for 90 days. 2 people go win smartphones every hour, every day. The one wey sleep pass na the 10 million naira grand prize. If you no be 9 Mobile customer, move come outside or buy a new line. In addition to the plenty millions and smartphones, we go sama you with 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime instanta plus up to 100% data bonus for 1 year. Recharge 200 naira and above. Make you for the win. Promo starts August 10th and ends November 7, 2020 and is approved by FCCPC.
9 Mobile. My people, for this period wey we dey, we know say e no easy, but you gats hustle. We just wan make you know say if morning fit show after night, e sure say one day our hustle go pure. This life na general market for whatever, my people. Na the Naija way. Sun no dey stop breeze, rain no dey disturb water, nothing fit owe you. If things hook, you say hook follow her till you unhook her. Now things go tire last. No be you. For this hustle matter, we dey together. Make we remain calm. Stand gidigba, but no forget to stay safe. This message na Fan Milk, owners of Fan Vanille and Super Yogo bring am to you. Happy Independence Day, my people.
Alright, welcome back to Sports Fiesta live on 92.7 KFM Benin City. We are switching gears now and moving into the segment that is powered by BetPay. Okay, let's take this message from them and we will be right back.
If I put this one, I get 500,000. If I put this one, I get 1 million.
Which one wey you dey talk to yourself like this?
Never your BetPay. For BetPay, they go reward you whether you win or lose. Remember, say 150% first deposit bonus dey wait for you. You fit deposit and withdraw each counter 24/7. And many of them get package full brand o. Go register for BetPay and start to dey win.
Person fit be agent?
Yes, now you fit become agent and then you go dey get bonuses. Oya, go www.betpay.ng.
BetPay, you stake, we pay.
Alright, welcome back. Basically all of the leagues, all of the major leagues are back, and yesterday we had some games in the Italian Serie A. So let's look at the results of those matches. Juventus with Cristiano Ronaldo and their new manager Andrea Pirlo back, and they got off to a comfortable start, winning 3-0.
Yeah, scoring 3 without conceding, that was good. Ronaldo completing the routes after the old lady took a 2-0 lead before the superstar got on the score sheet. Fantastic for him.
He hit the post.
He hit the post, yeah. And it was the first for him, though it was their first game. Sometimes when you are playing your very first game of the season, sometimes you don't get the positive result you need, but playing at home, I think that gave them that advantage. And besides, they are the champions. They've dominated the league, and they've got players who can go out there and win anytime, any day, irrespective of the experience of the coach. He was a former player, and he knows what to tell these guys to do on the pitch. So for me, Pedro started on a winning note. I think it's really good for him. He has got a big task on his hand to ensure that Juventus finish as champions and continue their dominance. Yesterday it was good for him. I wish them all the best. That wasn't the only match. Sassuolo took on Cagliari. That game ended 1-1. Genoa turned Crotone 4-1, while Parma at home were beaten by Napoli. Okay. Saturday, Fiorentina beat Torino 1-0, while Hellas Verona and Roma played out a goalless draw. Then tonight at 7:45, AC Milan at the San Siro Stadium will welcome Bologna.
Alright, so these are some of the stuff that happened in the Italian Serie A, and congratulations to Juventus, and of course to Victor Osimhen and his new club Napoli. He did not score, but he was a thorn in the side of their opponents, and after the game you could see how Gennaro Gattuso shook his hand and congratulated him, and you know that he just felt, yes, I got the real deal here in this Nigeria international.
Yeah, Osimhen is one player who is really tough. He's really aggressive, and this time is marking the defender. If you're not careful, you get to lose the ball because of the way he will run at you. And for me, he's not scared of anybody. That is just the truth. No matter who you are, no matter your pedigree, all he wants is to put the ball at the back of the net. And that was why he was bought. And when he scored 2 hat-tricks in their preseason friendlies, I was like, this guy, by the time he gets his footing right, I think he's going to even do more than some of the top strikers that they've got. And it only take a matter of time. It's going to really repay Napoli, the confidence, that they've got in him, making them to spend that huge amount of money. Yesterday, it was really a nice one for him, and I hope that he does well this season so that they can compete for trophies. Remember, they will play in the Europa League. And though the Spanish La Liga, some matches were played, though the champions played their very first game yesterday, but they couldn't get a win away from home. And David Silva also made his debut for Real Sociedad, and he also free to help them get a victory. On Saturday, it all started with Villarreal beat Aiba, and with Samuel Chukwueze getting an assist in that game to help the Yellow Submarines to beat Aiba 2-1. Then Etafe enjoyed a 1-0 victory over Osasuna, and Celta Vigo beat Valencia 2 goals to 1. Then on Sunday, it was SD Huesca nil, Cadiz 2. Granada defeated Alaves 2-1 to go top, while Real Betis beat Real Valladolid 2 goals to nil. These are the results of the matches that were played in the Spanish La Liga Santander. And to the German Bundesliga, where the reigning champions, Bayern Munich, they started things off, and it was really a fantastic ride for them as they started on the win notes, beating Schalke 04 8 goals to nil. That was really massive, with Sejanami getting a hat-trick in that game, and it was their first game. So that game they won it 8-0 on Friday, and then on Saturday, Eintracht Frankfurt took on Arminia Bielefeld, and that game ended 1-1. Union Berlin at home were beaten by Augsburg 3 goals to 1. FC Cologne at home lost 3-2 to Hoffenheim, while Werder Bremen at home were beaten by Hertha Berlin 4 goals to 1. Stuttgart 2, Freiburg 3. Then Borussia Dortmund taught Borussia Mönchengladbach in Leipzig, winning that game 3 goals to nil. Then on Sunday, Red Bull Leipzig beats Mainz 05 3-1. Then Wolfsburg and Bayer Leverkusen settled for a goalless draw. That is what happened in the German Bundesliga.
Okay, let's take another message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
It's time to win very big. Feel the excitement at www.betpay.ng. A sports betting company that rewards you whether you win or lose. Stay on top of the action wherever you are. Get the best odds, 150% deposit bonus. Cash out anytime. Accumulate your bonus. You can deposit and withdraw instantly, 247 and much more. Register now at BetPay to start winning. You can also become a BetPay agent and earn fantastic commissions and bonuses. Visit www.betpay.ng. BetPay. You stay, we pay.
Alright, welcome back to Sports Fiesta. It is live on 90.7 KFM Benin City with me, Sani Ibrahim, the Sports Ibrakadaba, and Erosai Bekan, the Sports Maestro. Okay, looking at everything happening in the ever-exciting world of sports, particularly football, and then we've looked at the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, the Italian Serie A, and other...
The German Bundesliga.
Yeah, the German Bundesliga too, and other... interesting stuff happening around the world of football. But going forward, the different clubs have not completed their transfer business just yet. We know that it's going to end on the 5th of October. But I'm looking at what's happening right now in the English Premier League. A club like Manchester United, they played their first game against Crystal Palace, and they were beaten 3-1 at home. Their former player Wilfred Zaha coming back to haunt them. They've done some business, but with what we saw on Saturday, maybe they will still have to go into the market and get more players.
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing like maybe. If you want to compete and win titles, you just have to spend big, and that is what United had to do. Though they got Donny van de Beek, who's a midfielder, but you look at the defense line, they need to really strengthen. Harry Maguire, yes, he came in a huge amount of money, but it can't be everywhere. He needs someone to really assist him in that area. Yeah, no, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is doing well, and other players will need to come in, because you need to have depth both in the squad on the bench. So for me, I think they need like 2-3 players to really strengthen that team. I know though it was their first game, but that wasn't what I expected from United. When you have some of their big players on the pitch looking frustrated, they were left with no ideas, when the heat was on. And for you to allow a player like Zaha, although that's the reason why Crystal Palace, they'll be holding on to him. They said they are not going to sell him except they meet the valuation and all that. Yes, he's a big player for Crystal Palace, but I think he needs to move, to a bigger club where he could play Champions League matches and all that. Yesterday, he was really in turn in their flesh, and he did that easy, though he did not have much impact. Came on in the second half, and he also got his own contribution to help them win. Before yesterday's game, they were on top of the Premier League, which was the first time in their history. Though after yesterday's result, they had to take their position. I think the first fifth spot. So for me, I think it was good for Crystal Palace. For United, I think all he needs what to do for him to challenge for trophies. He just have to go to the transfer market and get players, and not allow Jadon Sancho's issue to distract him. Get other alternatives and see how things will go. When the time comes, Sancho will come to United. But for now, he should look at other players before they get snatched by other managers, because now till October 5th, managers are still in the market looking for players.
Okay, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
The 2020-2021 Premier League is here. It's time to win big. And the best way is, of course, getting yourself a jersey so that you can identify yourself with your favorite team. We at www.betspay.ng want to give our punters the opportunity to win a football jersey of their choice. 10 replica jerseys to be worn each week for the next 4 weeks. To participate and win, visit www.betspay.ng to register. Place a bet of 200 naira. The more bets you place, the more entries you get into the draw. 10 winners will be chosen at random in a draw every Monday. All winners will be contacted. Follow us on our social media pages with your username and ticket number to qualify for the draw. On Instagram, find us at BetPayNG. On Facebook, find us at www.facebook.com/BetPayNG.
Alright, welcome back. One more of the top 5 leagues in Europe, and that of course is the French League One. Well, Paris Saint-Germain, they lost their first 2 games of the season. Well, we know what happened to them. Many of the players could not play because of COVID-19 and some other issues, and then the red cards that they got in the first game and also in the second game. But they've now won 2 consecutive matches, and yesterday Kylian Mbappe returned and he did what he usually does, and that's score goals. So it's looking much better now for Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, 2 defeats, so 2 victories, and I know they are still going to build on these victories after beating Metz, and yesterday it was a Nice, managed by former Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira, and it was really great for Kylian Mbappe to return and get on the score sheet. Yes, their players who were out due to coronavirus, they are beginning to come back, and you can see the difference right now. So for me, I think it was good. Don't never miss that game, but Mbappe's presence was really enough for them to get that victory. Well, it started on Friday when Lyon drew goalless with Nice. Then on Saturday, Lens defeated Bordeaux 2-1, with Nigeria's Samuel Kano getting the only goal for Bordeaux. Rennes enjoyed the 2-1 win over Monaco. Then yesterday's games, apart from that of PSG, Brest defeated Lorient 3-2. Metz at home beat Rennes 2-1. Montpellier trashed Angers 4-1, while Strasbourg enjoyed the 1-0 win over Dijon. Elsewhere, Nantes played a 2-2 draw with Saint-Etienne, while Marseille drew 1-0 with Lille.
Okay, so there we have it. Of course, you know that in the evening we have Balls of Fire, where we discuss football only. That will be from 4 p.m. But for now, let's go to other sports. We had the US Open. It ended over the weekend, and talking about golf, American Brian DeChambeau, he was the winner. He produced a fantastic final round display to win the US Open by 6 shots, and that meant that he claimed the first major of his career. The 27-year-old was the only player to break par at the notoriously difficult Winged Foot in New York. So congratulations to him. Matthew Wolff faded on the back line. He shot 75 to finish second at level. South Africa's Louis Oosthuizen, who finished third at 2 over, and Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy, they were the only non-American Americans to place inside the top 10.
Yeah, good one for the American, Bryson DeChambeau, for winning his very first major title of his career, and that is the way to start. Once you get your hand on the title, when next you are approaching the tournament or you are getting ready for a tournament, what you'll be looking at is that title. How do I add to this trophy in my collection? So that is one thing. I'm happy for him. He's 27, but he still has what it is. In fact, golf is a game you can even play up to 50 or 45 or
70, 80, you can play golf.
But personally, I think can say 70-year-old.
They have the one for the seniors. The over 70 they play professionally.
So for me, he has got a whole lot, and he could also be chasing titles.
Because there is nobody will tell you, oh, you are too old, you have to retire. It is when you feel that you can no longer swing your club and everything, and you can't compete favorably with the younger ones. That's when you tend to retire. In the past, golf used to see golf as the sport for old people, as in you could be well above 40 in sports. 40 in life is really young. Even 50, 55, you're still young. But in sporting times, once you get even in some sports, 30 is really old, so but you tend to find many players above that age who are doing well. It was when somebody like Tiger Woods broke in as a teenager. He was already doing great stuff then, but these days you look at what's happening. Rory McIlroy, Justin Day, Jordan Spieth, many of these guys, young guys in their early 20s, and they're already world number one. They're winning majors and everything, so for DeChambeau, who's 27, is still, compared to the other golfers that have did well recently, is relatively old. So in golf you can be any age and still compete very well. Kudos to him. I hope he goes on to do great stuff in other tournaments as after winning yesterday in the US Open. Credit goes to DeChambeau. But I was expecting players like Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy to really hit that the tournament and come out victorious, one of them, but they couldn't, and now you have a new champion, and that is the beauty of it. Once you get a new champion, amongst older players or more experienced players getting a new champion, I think it gives other players the opportunity to say or the belief that okay, the next tournament I can also do well as DeChambeau. So this is an eye opener for others who feel okay, they don't have what it takes to compete with the likes of Justin Day and Macron. Okay, let's go to cycling now and talk about the Tour de France, the world's most prestigious cycling event. Tadej Pogačar of Slovenia, he confirmed his victory as the second youngest Tour de France champion in history. Sam Bennett won the final sprint in Paris, but Pogačar, who's just 21 years old, he overhauled long-term race leader Primož Roglič. Roglič had led for so long, we were all thinking he was going to win. He was able to get a stunning time trial win on Saturday to claim the yellow jersey on his Tour debut. That's fantastic. Some people will compete the Tour de France for many years and they never win. He just comes in the first time and he is winning it. And the way they score the Tour de France and general cycling could be very complicated. Sometimes you don't even need to win any stage to become the overall winner, depending on how you are placing, because they aggregate your times and everything, and eventually you might end up being the winner. So the race leader was not challenged in the final stage, so Pogačar finished comfortably in the peloton. He was Bennett, who won the final stage, was jubilant as he crossed the line ahead of world champion Mads Pedersen. Great one for him. It was historic because what he did yesterday, he becomes the first Slovenian winner and first champion debut since Laurent Fignon in 1983. So it's been a very long time that
someone won on his debut. So for me, I think this is really, really great. And the legendary Eddie West, who won a joint record 5 times, is the only other rider to win 3 jerseys in the same tour. So for me, this achievement from the 21-year-old is just the beginning of his greatness. And I think this will motivate him to go on to do great stuff. He has got so many tournaments to compete in, and with experienced riders. So for me, winning where you have more experienced riders riding with you, and he has it on his side. 21, I think that strength also prepared him to win this, and it was really surprising for him that he stood on the step of the podium right there in Paris as he won that tournament. For me, I think this is great, and we are having a new champion in golf. We had a new champion, Tour de France, a new champion. So I think things are beginning to change, and the more experienced athletes should know now that yes, when you have your chance, you just have to take it. If not, people that are looking as underdogs could just come with something fantastic and they get the victory. So for me, good one that Pogacar delivers on any promise.
Okay, let's go to the NBA now. It is now LA Lakers 2-0 up in the Western Conference playoff series against the Denver Nuggets, but it didn't look like it was going to be like that towards the end of that game, especially in the fourth quarter when the Lakers faded badly. They needed to rely on, wait for it, not LeBron James, but on Anthony Davis. In fact, even LeBron James said they relied on him. It was Davis who got the final 3-pointer. It came on the buzzer, yes, and that was what gave them victory. Just 2 points they were able by
2 points. 103.
Yeah,
they were leading 103
to 102 before that moment.
Moment. And in fact, I followed that game till halftime before I slept off yesterday. The first quarter, fantastic for them. The second quarter, which made up the halftime, was really, really fantastic for the Lakers. They came out and I was like, okay, maybe at least they are going to win. But when at the time I checked the result and I went to look at the third and fourth quarters, I was like, maybe they get things wrong. They did not really beat on that first and second quarter.
At one point, the Lakers were leading by 16 points.
Yeah,
but they eventually found themselves trailing by 1 in the fourth quarter, and they had to really rely on Anthony Davis. But that's what makes a team great. You don't just have one player. Last night, LeBron James had a rare lapse in the playoff. He's usually dominant and unplayable in the playoffs, but last night wasn't one of those days, and so they needed to look to another superstar, and that's what Anthony Davis did. Anthony Davis even said it that, look, that's why they bought me, to make big plays, and that's exactly what he did. At the buzzer a couple of seconds ago, it just brought back memories of the guy they used to call the Mamba, talking about Kobe Bryant.
They even wearing the jerseys. Designed by him. Yesterday, it was a Mamba night. Honestly, fantastic performance from them. But if they have to win this finals, I think they just have to continue to dominate. Once they start from the first quarter, there's no point taking your foot off the gas, because Denver Nuggets, they had won this yesterday, it would have been 1-1, but now I think
it's not so it's huge advantage to LA Lakers. No matter how the victory came, Denver Nuggets are famous for
remarkable comeback.
Yes, that wonderful comeback. Twice in the series they were 3-1 down, and they came back, but this time we don't know. It's not impossible. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the Eastern Conference playoff final. We'll be having a game tomorrow. We know that Miami Heat are 2-1 up in the series against the Boston Celtics. So we'll wait and see what happens in that encounter. So Boston Celtics able to fight back, got a win in game 3. So we will look and see we'll have to wait and see what happens in that encounter. Quickly now, before I take your text, let's go to tennis. The Italian Open is on. Rafael Nadal sadly was eliminated earlier. Not good for him. It was on the Argentine Diego Schwartzman who did it, and Diego Schwartzman is in the final, who he will be playing against Novak Djokovic.
It's going to be a tough far for him, honestly. Although I gave him credit for beating Rafael Nadal, who we all see as the king of clay, but someone else who is really good on the clay is also Novak Djokovic. He has won this tournament 4 times, so winning now will make it 5, and he's looking forward to doing that after beating Kasper Ruud in straight sets yesterday, 7-5, 6-3. So for me, Diego Schwartzman should get ready for Djokovic. I don't think, except he brings his A game. If not, I don't see him winning any sets. But if he comes with his A game, he could get a set. But to me, my favorite here is no one else than Djokovic. After that disqualification, he has said, I want to continue to be professional. I like winning, and I just...
Yeah, but even in this competition, he's shown flashes of anger. He told us he was a new person. He's going to keep his anger in check. But he's smashing rackets and everything. He said, well, this is not the last racket. It's not the first racket that I've smashed in my career. It's not going to be the last, but I've learned from what happened in the past, and I'm going to do well by myself. Okay, the other game, the women.
Singles, the finals will be today also. World number 2, Simona Halep will take on Karolina Pliskova. So we'll be having the women's singles final and that of the men's later today.
So that's what we expect to see in tennis. The Italian Open, well, after this it will be the French Open. There's a clay tournament, and so after this we'll be having the French Open.
We start on Monday next week.
Okay, let's look at the text messages now before we blow the final whistle on this edition of the show. This one says, hold on, let me get this done. This one says, good morning, the two oracles of sports. Man United losing to Crystal Palace is a good omen. The reason is that Man United cannot be chasing Jadon Sancho alone. They know full well that their defense is leaking porously. Man United should quickly go to the transfer market and look for good quality central and left back. Jadon Sancho is quality, while the defenders needed is very important to fortify the team. Victor Lindelof is not quality enough. Okay, I guess this is from Enahoro Samson. Okay, Manchester United really disappointing display at home against Crystal Palace. This one reads, Ogaibra, this season go tough. My bet on Everton from Rapid Ghana. Everton, I've said that Merseyside derby this season. It will be really interesting. It will be pleasant to watch that encounter. Okay, let's see, and then one more. Good morning, sports gods. Congrats to Liverpool. Shame to Madrid. They disgraced us on Saturday. Imagine their passes was slow, their touches was poor, everything was poor. If I catch Pogba, if I catch him, but in all, congrats to Van de Beek. Edris from Lucky Way. Well, Madrid, they are notoriously slow starters. I think their last 7, they failed to win in 5 of the opening matches. Goodis has just found out there is this Nigerian boy who made his debut for Madrid yesterday's match. His name is Marvin Park. I'm going to research him, not quite sure about him. Good day. Let's say sports. No sports show. Oh, okay. We did not do sports on Saturday, Dr. Joel. We didn't do sports on Saturday because of the election. Yeah, we're covering the Edo State governorship election. That's why we didn't do sports. Chelsea want to buy rice without stew, beans, dodo. Okay. From Rapid Gunners. Good day, guys. Is that Man United trying to tell us? I don't understand what you're saying now. You say, how is it that Manchester? Well, okay. Sorry, I don't even understand what you're saying. Clearly, I don't know. 75 complete passes in just 45 minutes, more than any Chelsea player. Thiago is one hell of a signing. With him, Thiago is one hell of a signing. With him, I think Liverpool might win another PL title. Odyssey, maybe you shouldn't get too carried away. Remember that he was the one that gave away the penalty, which Jorginho missed, and then again, yes, 75 completed passes in 45 minutes, more than any Chelsea player. But look at the team that he was coming into. Liverpool were well settled at that point, and Chelsea were in shambles. So maybe you've got to consider that every match will not be like the first 45 minutes, the last 45 minutes that we had on that, which was the first 45 minutes of Thiago Alcantara. You've got to wait and let him play other games. But his quality is fantastic. His last match was the UEFA Champions League final, so that tells you how good he is. Good as Klopp, Alfred. Okay, this was even incomplete. Alright guys, thank you very much. That's the much we can take on the show. Time to blow the final whistle.
Special moment for me, special moment for the team. Especially in a situation like that, trying to go up 2-0 against a special team who are great competitors and fought for the entire 48 minutes. To do something like that in the jerseys we wore tonight makes it even more special. Any Lakers forward, Anthony Davis, speaking after his buzzer beating 3-pointer, helped his side with the Denver Nuggets 105 to 103 points to go 2-0 up in the Western Conference Finals. And that's the final whistle on the show this morning.
Our packet for this morning. We will see you at 4 p.m. when we will be discussing football only on the show that we call Balls of Fire. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Saliu Ibrahim. They call me the Sports Abracadabra. I've been doing this with Ego Sagbeka, the Sports Maestro. Stay tuned. KU News Update is at 9. Bye-bye.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires unprecedented internet service. At Wireless NG, we provide fast, reliable, and affordable unlimited broadband internet service for homes and businesses. Service is currently available across Lagos and Benin. Visit us today at Wireless NG, 5 Ramaya, Ikenede Street off PZ Sapler Road, Benin City, or our marketing office, 70 Olowo Complex, Airport Road, Benin City, or call 0807-887-9960 or 0703-672-9147. Wireless NG, erasing internet boundaries.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Give your family a tasty, nourishing breakfast of Kellogg's cereal, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Now also available for just 15 naira.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Come see for yourself, oh. This no be the one you go take only ear here, oh. You must take your eyes see so that you self go enjoy what the other people they enjoy. Uyi Technica, the generator headquarter where they make everybody enjoy generators of all sizes and models for affordable price. Whether not the small one for barber shop or I been a big Perkins generator for factory and big building. Uyi Technica, the place for generators, spare parts, grinding machine, pepper mill, and others. Mention the name and size of generator where you want. Wakam Uyi Technica get them for the kind of money where they your pocket. Wakam Uyi Technica get them. Come take your eyes see for the generator headquarters. Uyi Technica, 7981 and 83 Mission Road, Benin City, and all other Uyi Technical branches. Uyi Technica, affordable products for everybody jollification.
92.7 KUFM.
like a photo. Now I be say I don't be getting enough of you. Yeah, waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. Anytime when you need me come through, my shawty, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. My shawty, oh baby, my baby, my baby. Say you there for me, as I there for you. Baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. Anytime when you need me come through, my shawty, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby, my baby. My shawty, wallet. My baby, my baby. What you wanna do, girl, where you wanna go? Cause anywhere you go, girl, I go follow, go. Cause I like the way you back it up, the way you go along. And that's the reason they be hating on you, baby, you the baddest. Step on the dance floor and show you madness. I'll be a king, if you know your highness. Shut up at the girl, damn, you are the flyest. Baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Boy,
sugar, don't touch that dial. Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News.
Good morning and welcome to KUFM's news update at 9. I am Godslove Orlando. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu, have been re-elected for another term of 4 years. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declared Governor Obaseki winner after a collation of results from the 18 local government areas of the state on Sunday. Governor Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) polled a total of 307,955 votes to defeat his closest rival, Pastor Osagi Iziyamu of the All Progressives Congress (APC), who polled 223,619 votes. Meanwhile, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says together with his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu, he remains committed more than ever before to make Edo State great again with his re-election for his second tenure. Governor Obaseki was speaking shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) declared him winner of the September 19th governorship election in the state. He said his victory was a testament of Edo people's wish and he is ready to obey their wish. While jubilation erupted in some parts of Benin City following the declaration of Governor Godwin Obaseki winner of the September 19th governorship election in Edo State, supporters friends and lovers of the governor organized themselves in different groups into motorcades and others with sound systems to celebrate the victory. When KUFM interacted with them, some of them said their excitement was based on the assurance of continuity in development programs by the governor. Former Deputy Governor of Edo State and former Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria, Chief Mike Ogiadume, Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, has congratulated Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki in his victory at Saturday's election. Chief Ogiadume described the polls as not only free and fair, but also the most credible election Edo State has witnessed in recent years. He commended Governor Obaseki for his resilience, determination, and confidence in the nation's democratic process. Ogiadume, who was Deputy Governor of Edo State from 1999 to 2007, asserted that the re-election of Governor Godwin Obaseki is a product of his uncommon performance in his first term and commitment to the needs and aspirations of Edo people. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on his re-election. He also hailed the Independent National Electoral Commission for the smooth process that led to the emergence of Obaseki. The president's spokesperson Garba Shehu in a tweet on Sunday said Buhari commended the people of Edo State, the political parties, candidates and security agencies for conducting themselves responsibly. And finally, elsewhere, the Joint Health Sector Unions, JOHESU, has suspended its 7-day warning strike and directed its members nationwide to resume on Monday. By the directive, all health workers under the 5 unions that made up the JOHESU and Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations are expected to return to work across all the federal health institutions in the country. The health workers had embarked on the warning strike on September 14th following the failure of the government to meet their demands. And that's KUFM's news update at 9. Please stay with us for more interesting programs and news updates on every hour. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world, either by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our KU mobile app from the Google Play Store. We're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria. Coming up next is Dialogue. I am God's Love, Orlando, saying thanks for listening and good morning.
Stop stalking your exes. Follow us on Facebook at KUFM Nigeria.
My name is Godslove Orlando, and you're listening to 92.7 KUFM.
This is Charles Okuru, and you are listening to 92.7 KUFM Benin City.